Mr. Salameh, hello and welcome to the Al Jazeera Balkans channel. And thank you so much for taking time to speak to us now. Can you provide an overview of your company's recent acquisition of the Octagon terminal in Romania? How do you see this acquisition as contributing to the strengthening of Romania's national energy security? And what strategic goals do you aim to achieve with this acquisition, sir?
First of all, thank you for having me. And Al Jazeera is my favorite channel for your info in many languages, not only the Balkan, in many languages. So the family office, I am active in this area, Central East Europe, last 35 years in business after 1990. And I have a family office doing a lot of business. I am close to almost 100 companies around the world. And my family office, the structure that is structured like that. So any profit is coming end of the year, 50% will stay in the same business, and another 40% will go for the new business, strategic business, and the future business, and 10% for the family and standard to have standard life. So acquisition of the only, let's say, active and big terminal of LPG in the Black Sea today from Romania part and Constanța port was a strategic movement. So my target in that business is for the next many years to transfer and to help my country to transfer our Black Sea, our Constanța port and hub of energy, because we are the only country in all Europe, let's say, we are almost independent in our resource of energy. We are not independent to import gas from, used to import from Russia or another part of the world. So we are almost independent 100%.
How does your company's involvement in Romania's energy sector align with the country's efforts to diversify its energy imports, particularly in the context of the European Union's broader energy security strategy?
I started from 1997 when we take the decision country to enjoy NATO. From that time, I started to invest in Black Sea area. So I own up to 3,000 hectares of land. Was that all land bought it for to start to invest in the green energy and solar and wind. And at 2008, 2010, at that time wasn't, let's say, a good movement to go in that. But now, last few years, I am building around 2 giga of solar and wind, already with almost 500 megawatts. We apply now for a permit of construction, and we are move on. So to go align with my country, I started very early, almost 30 years ago. So not now. And so Romania, we are moving very good in the green energy. We are talking about solar and wind. In the same times, you know very well, Romania, they have hydro energy. And you know our listed company, Hidroelectrica, with value up to 14 billion euro, can compete with any other company in entire Europe. Plus, we have our nuclear station. We have it, and we are looking now to invest in storage, and we are look after hydrogen also investment. So all these together make our country to be. We are, I think, in the next few years, we are going to be exporting energy for the Europe, not just for ourselves.
Now, sir, the Black Sea region is gaining significance for energy exploration, also for security. But first of all, I mean, why has the Black Sea region gained deserved attention only after Russia's annexation of Crimea back in 2014? I'm under the impression that after the end of the Cold War, for quite some time, it was sort of like a geopolitical blind spot. Not many companies paid that enough attention to the Black Sea region.
Romania was always independent in energy, wasn't need the bad invasion of Russia and Ukraine country to make our country to be independent and to be strategic in the energy. But you know how they was acting, the Russia influence in entire, not only in Europe, everywhere, through through front entities, companies, and doing lobby that country not to use their own resource and to be independent in the Russian energy, can be petrol or can be LNG or even LPG. So the plan now, we no more they can do this kind of, let's say, illegal action against our nation or another nation. For that, it is very important for us to go and to see and not to forget we are the country. We started finally after was blocked in our parliament for no reason, extraction of the gas from Black Sea. We are talk about the project of Deep Neptune. And we hope in 2027 we started to extract our natural gas, and in this case we become even country to export the energy. Our leader of the country promised we are going to use that let's say quality and the price of that gas to be to reindustrialization of entire the country, and we can have access to the energy at affordable price, and then we come back a country, we can export many finished product around the world at very competitive price, and we can compete even with a big country like China or another Asia where you need to pay a lot of things, and we are made in Europe, and we are a big alliance of NATO.
Mm-hmm. Now, given Romania's position as a key player in the EU's energy market, how do you see this, what you talked about, as contributing to import and distribution of oil and gas within the European Union?
Look, not to forget, I think Ukraine and Moldova without Romania was in very, very bad situation. Mm-hmm. We saved them after the invasion of Russia. We saved the countries, give them support, not only, let's say, humanitarian and all the stuff, also energy. I think the next day, when they started the invasion, immediately we support Ukraine and we still support Moldova. We help Moldova to enjoy Europe like us and to be part of NATO. The same thing we'll do with Ukraine, to be part of Europe, part of NATO. So that I think the deep, the Neptune deep allow gas supply to make even Europe more safe and to have his own energy and no need to be imported from a third party.
Mm-hmm. Now, I wanted to ask you something because you've been living in Romania for many, many years. Romania, just like the former Yugoslav countries, has gone through quite a difficult transition from communism to democracy. What were some of the key challenges that you noticed as a businessman living and working in Romania that the country has been struggling to overcome over the last, 3 decades at least?
I think I am in Romania last almost 43 years. I come here when I was a child, 17 years old, and right. I am Romanian citizenship, and the only citizenship I have is the Romanian. So by born, and in Syria, and I'm proud of that also. So I think the problem has because we enjoy too quickly two big organizations. One is NATO, second one is Europe. I think after 60 years and let's say under dictator system was difficult for us to, but I think we passed this one. We started to pass. We have a new generation of leader take over the country. No more depend on the old mentality and the old people who has, some of them, they have even indirect relationship with Russian. So, and they was not so, let's say, clean to do. Now I think with the new generation we have from business point of view and the leader point of view, I think we will move on and will recover what we lose last 30 years, because it was difficult for Romania to enjoy Europe, to enjoy NATO in the same times. Okay, so it is not so easy. Open democracy. Look today, neighbor countries. I can give you example, Bulgaria. I feel very sorry about them and bad about them. But look, they don't understand how they can manage the country. If you see the country, the election they do every 3 months, like you change your clothes. So it's again, and they have big chance. It's not was easy for this country, was under influence of Russia to move quickly. But thank God we managed to be part of Europe, But the most important thing, we are part of NATO, and we are today strategic partnership. We have security point of view with Japan, with UK, and with the United States of America, extra with US. So all these together, and we have a great relationship with Gulf countries, starting with Qatar, with Oman, with Saudi Arabia, and United Emirates also. We have, so this is it's not easy to make it in 30 years, because I know it, I feel it, and I live it. Wasn't so easy for us to do that, but thank God we are doing very well. And with our neighbor, look now with Turkey, we are very strong partner, except that Turkey is the biggest in NATO. We are we can both country, both nation, we can go without visa. All this happened, wasn't easy, but now I think it's time for many countries, many people to think and to come to Romania, because it's the right strategic country to invest and to deal with many countries around, and more easy. Plus our nation and our people is welcome the people. We are not so close mentality. Everybody speak many language, and the country is welcome to business people and the right people to come and to work, to do their investment here, and what they can live here. Look, we have a big investment done by UA. You have a DP port. They use their branch in Romania like a flagship for them to the rest of 85 countries. Also, we have through 55,000 hectares of cereal land in Romania, we ensure the food security of UA. So it is not, we are just simple. We try and we manage to have this great relationship with the big power country around the world and neighbor country.
This is something very interesting that you mentioned, because I noticed over the last at least 7 or 8 years, various Gulf countries have been making a noticeable presence in the Balkan region. We have seen the United Arab Emirates forge very close relations with Serbia and with the government in Belgrade. Now, as you said, also with the case of Romania, we've seen Qatari presence in the case of Bosnia and Croatia. Israel, is not really a Gulf state, but then Middle Eastern state, developing relations with Greece and with North Macedonia. How do you make sense of this fact that Middle Eastern countries, especially Gulf states, are making forays into the Balkan region? Why is this region interesting to them compared to other, say, Western European countries or Central European countries?
I think it was time. I think even they come delayed. I remember was a very high visit done by the leader, and that time the father of the Emir of Qatar was come to Romania. And before him, I think I received and I meet personally with that time was the Minister of the State, His Excellency Khaled Al-Attiyah.
Yes.
I meet with him personally. We discussed that time to do joint venture between my family office and Qatar Foundation, $500 million euro project, and supposed to the Prime Minister to come to Al Jaber, His Excellency to come to Romania to sign, but there was a change, and now the young son of Emir take over the country. Oh, I know him personally, and I meet him personally in Doha. And he's a great leader. He's a great leader, like his father. He's a great leader also. So I think there was target for Gulf, starting with Qatar. You see, I think that was the only country Qatar started, and after they come UA and today Saudi. Look what they have invest in Warsaw, and they bought a company and refinery, and they're very present in Poland. So neighbor country. I think this now is the time for these countries. We have UA investing in Romania. Qatar also look to invest. And I am trying now with my team, with my family office, I am trying to reconnect with the leader of Qatar and to see possibility. And we haven't discussed about build our LNG terminal in our Black Sea. I think it is target because from here you can, you see Romania, we are interconnection with entire Europe. So you can do energy in Romania and for another country. I can give you another example. We have PPC. PPC, the company, Greek company with American fund be owner, almost 70% of the company. They come to Romania. They bought the distributor of energy, Enel from Italian. But his target, because Greece importing 30% of that needed of energy from third countries. So they said, I will come to Romania, I will build thousands of megawatt to sell it to my country. So you can use Romania, do production and to cover another countries. That is very important, and I think Gulf need this, the country in the Gulf and the leader of Gulf, they understand this, not now, from after 1990, when that part of the world was for them forbidden to be investing. Now it's very easy. And I think they are welcome also to come in this part, and especially in my country, Romania.
You know, when you talk about different sources of energy, I was wondering, how do you strike a balance between traditional sources of energy, such as oil and gas, with renewable sources of energy, such as wind, solar power, in a country which is investing, such as Romania, which is investing so much in these renewable energy resources? I mean, there must be a period of transition, right, from one source of energy to another. How do you make sure that the transition is rather smooth?
The energy in Romania, we have two types of investment. Okay,
right.
Sure, we talk about transition. You are moving from, let's say, a classic energy of using even carbon, of using all this stuff to move to from nuclear, but Romania, they used to have, let's say, eco energy, always the hydro one. So the hydro one is a green energy, and it is very safety, and we used to have it. So Romania wasn't a problem. They have also a few quantity of extraction of the petrol. We used to have, the first refinery in the world was built in Romania, first time ever. So we was always one step in front, okay, in that sector. So, but you need to understand today, Romania, they are not do everything for themselves. We are doing because we need to support Moldova to enjoy Europe and NATO. We are supporting also Ukraine to enjoy NATO and Europe. And at the same time, we support, let's say, neighbor countries or entire Europe to and the energy. So is Romania become hub of the energy? It's not just, let's say, doing for ourselves. For that, we are in multi-direction of production of the energy. From solar, from wind, from now we are looking after hydrogen, for hydro, for nuclear, for everything. All this together is to support our country, Ukraine and Moldova, and the same time third party. Look, what they are Greece. Greece, they want to cover the 30% of necessity now, what they need last year to be covered by Romania production of solar and wind. And I am discussing with them also. So they do it for, so many countries, they prefer to come to Romania to do it and to support their necessity of the energy.
Mm-hmm. Now, as we move towards the end of our interview, I wanted to ask you a few questions when it comes to the EU slapping sanctions on Russia. Sometimes we get the impression reading news pieces that these are international sanctions which have been slapped on Russia. However, as you saw recently in the case of the BRICS meeting in Kazan, many major global powers such as India, the United Arab Emirates, Indonesia and the rest, and many African countries still maintain excellent relations with Russia, with the government of Vladimir Putin. I want to ask you, as somebody who's based in Romania, how effective do you believe, as a businessman, have these European sanctions been on Russia? And has Russia managed to create new channels for trade and communication with other countries around the world so as to avoid the negative impact of these Western sanctions?
My opinion, to continue to work with the gas, with Russia directly and indirectly, blend it, mix it, is very bad for long term from now. I think we need to think about nation, about our country for the next 100 years. You cannot think for nation for the next 5 years, for short term. So I think it's very bad. What they are doing, Russian using, the problem in Russia, if they do normal country, use their own resource and do their business for themselves, they are welcome in the world. But they use it to go, they go like target, I use energy to infiltrate in your country, to control your government, to control your company, to do what I want, what they have done in UK. You see what they have done in UK. They was infiltrated everywhere. So Russia use the energy for another scopes. And nobody will accept, none of the nation, they will accept this kind of interfere of some people with energy. I can buy your people, I can corrupt your people, I can compromise your leader and I can do business. Nobody will have it. Sometimes it's difficult people to accept it. This transition period to pay more energy, more tax, but must happen one times because at forever and to finish with this kind of thing. Look, and the Russian companies is always linked to the state, and you cannot have them fair player in any market in the world. I can give you one example. My one of the group of the company I lead globally is production of alcohol. And I make a clear and declaration, I'm going to replace the Russia vodka globally. And I managed to do that in many countries, from Brazil, where is the BRICS country. I managed to do that. In UK, we are working on that, even in Bulgaria. So they cannot continue to compromise quality and all this stuff. They cannot continue. They need to sit down and to become a normal nation and stop to interfere with the internal issues in each country, internation, to control everybody. They cannot do. This is what I have done last 100 years was happened. Now we are living in new area of world, and we need to be in peace and to do normal, and everybody change at the normal and the same level. Nobody can see another nation down. I can lead what I can do what I want. We have today a European nation. We have the NATO nation. So we are people look after this. You cannot just be alone. And I feel very bad because I see also China following the same approach. Okay, export everything. So China, they want to buy the raw material from everybody and export the final product for everybody. Hey, this you cannot make. You are 1 billion. You need to make another 7 billion to become your slave. No, every country they have nation. They need to be proud of their product, proud of their industry, proud of their resource material to use it at final product, not to be just exported and will do the stuff. It's something but to be. They cannot continue. I don't think even the population accept more. Even some leader they can do some compromise and can work together, but this will be short. And you see the population immediately they have a reflection to say stop, and they change the leader when they see them going in the wrong direction.
Mr. Nawaf, Salameh, I'm afraid we have run out of time. I really enjoyed speaking to you. Thank you so much once again for your time.
It's my pleasure. Again, I am welcome the friend from Gulf, especially from Qatar. My teams, we are already back. I think we are in new ideas, a new leader everywhere. Let's work together and enjoy our life and build for our next generation a peace world to live together and to enjoy everybody his own country.